Hey, it's the latest episode of The Ugly Truth. Did Paula's family remember Mother's Day? Well, we'll find out next week, but we're talking a little bit about that, as well as distance learning. Whether you're a teacher or a parent or a student, it's not going well for some of us. Also, did I celebrate Naked Garden Day this year? We discuss. And there's an ugly and awkward moment of the week. All of this and a whole lot more. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
The curtains are going to cause the divorce. I know it.
Paula?
Have a heart if you can, you assholes.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 464. You know, your octave has gotten higher and stronger, so every time you do your ugh, it like cuts you off, which I appreciate. I'm proud of it.
Do you think it's a
good.
happier ugh?
No, I think it's a more assertive ugh. Let's put it that way.
I'm being an ugh assertively.
I think that's great. Oh, before we get started, Stephanie sent us a picture of her son doing his homeschooling.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Okay, that whole conversation was hilarious. He absolutely and just calmly said, I will not be participating in this dance on Zoom. I will not be doing it. If Temperance can log off, I'm logging off. And he just quietly clicks off Zoom and walks away. And Stephanie's like, you have to participate. And he's like, I don't. And he's like, and I will not do PE.
How are you going to stop him? I mean,
exactly. I just thought it was great that at his age, he realizes that he has options. And so I was telling producer Deb about it. And I said, he is absolutely, if he was female, he'd be an Ugg. I said, so I'm going to call him an Uggle. He's a little Uggle.
I mean, I probably would have stayed on the call, but I would probably have like a piece of tape handy. Like, you know what?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm on the call. You just can't see me. So.
I'm dancing. I promise.
I'd probably even like make sounds just to make it sound like I was dancing. Be like, oh, I know, my camera went down.
Oh, that's weird, but I'm still here.
You know, but it showed I was still logged in, so I could get the credit or whatever. But I mean, he's just outright. But he is definitely Stephanie's child because she's just outright defiant. She'd be like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out of here."
It's so funny. Well, you and Stephanie are both like that. You're just like, if you're done, you're just like, I'm done with this, and you walk away. You don't care. Like no one cares. You're like, what are you going to do to me? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Try.
At school, it's a different story. But that's where Stephanie had me is, you know, I was too scared to actually leave. And she'd be like, fuck you, motherfuckers. And she'd walk off campus. Stop me.
She absolutely did. She
would pull a dad and like outrun the hall monitor. She's just like, you can't catch me. You're too fucking fat. See ya.
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely who she was. Absolutely. She did not care. Her mouth would just say whatever. So speaking of teachers, it is Teacher Appreciation Week. It ended on Friday, but I haven't seen a whole lot of celebrating because everyone basically is a teacher now. And isn't it interesting and ironic that it's riding right into Mother's Day? Because, I mean, you know, is anyone really, I mean, I'm just curious. Is anyone like true? I mean, nobody can roll their moms into, you know, brunch. So I'm just curious. I feel like it's a little low key this year because, you know, no one can go anywhere.
I'll be honest. I haven't heard boo about it.
I was going to ask, did anyone remember it at your house?
Either they're planning a surprise, which I highly, highly doubt it, or I just don't think they know.
And you're not going to give them anything?
Fuck no.
Okay. Hopefully it won't be too difficult to talk about it next week because I'm just dying to know if they remember.
So it's either going to go down like this. Saturday night, there'll be the mad dash to Walmart, of course.
Right.
To do something, or Sunday morning or at some point Sunday, there'll be a text or a call from another family member.
And they'll go, oh shit.
And then they'll be like, we totally forgot. We're going to go to the store right now and get that. And I'm going to be like, no, you know what I want for Mother's Day? I want a real Mother's Day. I want you guys to realize that mothers are forgotten and not appreciated. And we're here just waiting for your next task. And it's a thankless job.
Yeah.
And you did exactly what you're supposed to do to mothers.
What's expected.
Which is just not acknowledge how important they are. So thank you. Thank you for Mother's Day.
I also think that you are not alone. I think there are a lot of mothers who are sitting there going, you know what? not only am I taking on the tasks that I do normally, you're all here, so I don't even get a break. And now a lot of you, I'm trying to instruct so that you can go back to school. So I don't have to deal with your ass for 6 hours. So I'm trying to get you educated for the fleet of teachers waiting for you in maybe the fall. And we've just added yet another job to the some forced stay-at-home mothers, some who have been stay-at-home moms and are still adding to the pile. And no, I am not going to include dads, okay? It's a Mother's Day. That's what we're talking about.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, what I don't want is, I was going to say, no, I don't want you to go to the store and put together some sort of breakfast and get a bunch of greeting cards, because then I will have to do the motherly thing and act like I appreciate it.
Right.
And I don't want to do that.
I think a little honesty is not going to hurt anyone. If your family forgot, they should know that they'll, and if it never comes up, which would be really surprising considering all of the floods of Zoom and Google commercials saying, if you can't be with your mom this year, give her a Zoom call.
I think there's awareness that it's happening. I just don't think they realize it's that day.
Right.
And the other thing I don't want to do is I don't want someone to say, well, what would you like to do today? What I would like to do is not have to make another goddamn decision about what this family is going to do. So I'm going to go outside, smoke a cigarette, drink some coffee that I made. Yeah. And you guys can sit in here and think about what you've done. Honestly,
Paula, I don't think that you are alone. I do not. I hope that there are others out there going, fucking A, yes. Because it is, and especially this year, I think that a lot of women are being put upon more than they were before. And it's really apparent who appreciates and doesn't appreciate the mother in their world. I agree.
This whole not social distancing, this whole distance learning thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it is, the teacher is having this relationship with my child. And, they're doing their Zoom conferences or whatever. They have their Google Classrooms. They, whatever they're doing. And I have to help her, but I don't know what she's doing unless I'm sitting right next to her, looking at the instructions, looking at the slides or whatever it is that she had to do, or I'm sitting there listening to the Zoom lesson. So I basically have to become a student,
right,
to understand what's going on. Because I'm not really the teacher, because I don't have the lesson plans or the answers or the access to the teacher websites.
Right.
So I'm basically this tweener with no information.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, either make me the teacher or leave me completely out and make the teachers a lot more hands-on.
Yeah.
Because you have to realize not every child can learn this way.
Right.
In fact, most don't.
Right.
A lot do well with the online stuff, but a lot, it's a proven fact that children learn various ways. And my child is not an online learner. I can tell you that much.
There's so many factors when you're dealing with distance learning. You're dealing with teachers that maybe not be very good at it, or you're dealing and really, the really good teachers, they shine no matter what for the most part. But you're right about the students. It is. I think about all those kids who require a lot of hands-on care. Maybe they have to go to a different class for different, resources. All of that is gone, and so now you're dealing with, I saw it's a meme I've seen, and it said, "You lied to me. My children are not a joy to have in class."
Right.
And I'm like, that's probably very true, because they already probably are distracted because of the multitudes of reasons. It was patched together. The adaptability of every kid is different. So everyone's experience in this has been very, very different. Like, I can tell you that you and I as kids would have been fine. We would have blown through this. We would have been done with our homework in 2 days.
Actually, I think you and I as kids, it would have been easier because it would have just been like paper packets or packets that could have just been printed off. But see, the problem with our kids now, which I had no idea, they literally go to like 15 different websites every day to do all these assignments. And they have like log names and passwords, and there's links to go. You have to go to a website and click on a link. You have to go to a website, log in, click on a link. And from there, you click on another link, to go to the chapter. And you got to make sure you're in the right chapter. And once you're in there, click that link. And then I'm just like, how many fucking links are in this stupid thing? It's
very archaic.
And and I don't fault the teachers, because this is just how it is.
Right.
And, and then to have to, turn it into an online learning. I mean, obviously it's not made to be done online. I mean, this is all very classroom based that, kids take turns, going into the computers. Other ones are doing classroom stuff. But, and thank God Olivia knows where all this stuff is most of the time. But I mean, if she doesn't, we're kind of fucked, because I'm just like, how do we get to this stupid, like I find myself messaging her. I'm like, where's this extra math basics? Bears, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, what is this thing?
Oh, God.
And she's like, okay. She's like, go to this, right click on this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, ugh. I mean, sometimes we spend more time trying to find shit than we actually do things.
No, there are no winners. Distance learning is meant for kids who are sick and need to be home for a while. And it's not meant for the masses. So hopefully this will, be a very short period of time in frustration for everyone, because I'm sure it's difficult.
Yeah, because also we got a notification from Ryan's school. They're going to be doing an online promotion ceremony, and they're looking for speakers. And Ryan started laughing. He's like, I'm not going to that.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did he volunteer to be a speaker?
No, but he's graduating 8th grade. So I'm just like, what is an online promotion ceremony? I'm like, this is
going to Zoom meeting it.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. And I'm like, I hope we are not required to go to this or to watch this or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not going to see anything other than some administrator
reading names
saying, kids, this is an unusual season. Yeah.
And what? Film Ryan walking across the living room?
That'd be hilarious.
Have him run across the living room naked.
That would be so funny. So speaking of, the reason I kind of wanted to bring up Teacher Appreciation Week, other than I think this is definitely one for the books, is that a teacher that I really, really loved in high school died.
Yeah, I read that.
And what sucks is he lived like 5 doors down from me.
Oh, yeah.
And no one knew. No one said anything, but they are incredibly private people. He was not interested in getting visitors, or, he had been struggling for some months. And we did know that part, but they did not want any kind of, general knowledge floating around. So I did know that he was struggling, but I didn't know that it was, I mean, you kind of assume that maybe things weren't going well, and we don't even know how he passed away or anything like that. But I was thinking about it, and I was telling Daryl about it when we read about it yesterday, because we got, I saw the same thing you did. And I said, oh, I hate that I found this out on Facebook, because he was a neighbor, but I also know how quiet they were about things and private. And so I said, God, he was a great teacher, and he was such an amazing coach, because he was the baseball coach when I was in high school. And I had him for geometry. And I believe it was my senior year. And everybody basically just kind of, you had to have 3 years of math to graduate back then. Mm-hmm. And so I took geometry. As you know, I am math retarded. I can't.
I only passed geometry because I had my boyfriend do my homework the last semester.
Right? Well, I didn't have a boyfriend. And so I was in that class, and I was determined to pass. And so I had a tutor. I took extra work. I came in early. I stayed in at lunch. I did everything I could to get a passing grade. I had a D-. With all of that being said, finally, I think we were 6 weeks in, and Coach came up to me and he said, Jamie, I appreciate how hard you're working, but you're never going to get it. And I don't know why. You're a smart girl, but I can't watch you suffer like this any longer. So I'm not going to pass you, but I'm going to give you an incomplete so you don't get an F. And I want you to have the open period, go to the library. And I was like, okay. And because it wasn't his fault, it was I never had a really good math foundation ever. But I appreciated him ending my suffering. So for that, I will always be grateful for him.
That's good. He understood that you were trying. It's just some people don't get it.
I couldn't get it, and it began when I was in second grade. It never improved after that. It just was a horrible journey in the math world, and it's the one disability that I really hate because it's something I can fix. But who wants to go back and learn math from the beginning? I mean, it sucks. No one wants to do that.
Well, geometry is just a completely different animal. That's
yes.
I can't even explain that.
Yeah,
I still can't explain. I still don't even understand why who came up with that, and I'm convinced it was someone like Beethoven or something like that, some complete freak of nature,
some genius.
No, not even a genius, just some schizophrenic weirdo that convinced everyone it was genius. And I mean, what's a Pythagorean theorem? Like, name that. And then you put a number in a box and it comes out a different number. And I mean, I'm just like, well, what is this? Like a magic machine that you just pop a number in there and, and it pops out another number. And I'm just like,
what is this, Willy Wonka?
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm sending you my cleaning bill. I should have written that as one of my answers.
No kidding.
I would have gotten credit for creativity.
They were like, totally love it, but it is wrong. Half credit.
My teacher, she took geometry serious. Like she would go through and check homework to see if you did it. Yeah. And I would get like half credit because she would check my homework and she's like, well, I see you tried it. She's all, but the numbers you wrote down, they're just numbers. And I'm just like, okay.
I vividly remember this one memory. I was in second grade and we had a student teacher. I can't remember his name, but he came in to, get some hours in so he could become a full-time instructor. I remember I was obviously struggling in math as a second grader, or maybe I was in third grade. And so he pulled me in at recess and he goes, okay, we're going to go through some flashcards because if you can remember your times tables, then you can do anything. And I said, okay. So he started showing me flashcards and I'm all, 5? And he's like, right. No. He goes, think about it, Jamie. Think about it. And it was like 9 times 7. And I was like, 16? He goes, okay, this is times, not plus. And I said, okay. And so he's like, it's 7 number 9s, 7 9s. And so I'm like, all right.
That sounds like a lot.
47? He's like, okay. He literally collapsed in absolute frustration. And he's like, go ahead and go outside.
You're just like,
back outside.
You're like, S?
It was
What
awful.
Is a bunny?
And then I just walked outside, a massive failure. And, I hated not being number one in everything when I was in school. I had to be the smartest, the fastest, everything. Yeah. So to not have success in math was one of the most frustrating things in my life. To this day, I get hostile when I think about how much I can't do it. I've had really smart people say, oh my God, you're so smart. You could just go back and start over. I'm like, I don't want to. I am not Billy Madison, okay? I'm not going to third grade and starting over with somebody named Miss whatever.
Right.
I'm not doing it. Stop. All right. And so moving on. And congratulations to all of you who are brilliant in math, female mostly. So if you follow me on social media, I don't really have a whole lot of listener friends, but if you listen and you're also my friend, you know that I was, my bank account was hacked on Tuesday.
What was that all about?
Well, somehow someone in the Philippines got access to our bank account, made several transfers from savings to checking, and then took out a couple $1,000s.
Wow.
And Daryl comes in with my coffee and he said, good morning. And I'm like, good morning. It's like 7 a.m. or 7:30. I said, what's up? He goes, I have to talk to you about the bank. And I said, all right. Now we're doing some financial moves because of the pandemic. And, we're just trying to make sure we're safe and whatever. And he said, so our bank account was hacked. We have $45. And I went, what? And he said, yeah. And I go, well, what's going on? He goes, well, obviously he's been talking to the bank and blah, blah, blah. And now the bank account we use, I opened when I was 25. It's my bank account. I just, when you merge, you don't even think about it anymore. Right. And so he said, because it's your bank account, I had to sign all these documents and, blah, blah, blah. So I, obviously got up and I did all of that.
Oh, he wasn't on the account?
No, he is on the account, but it's my account. And
gotcha.
so we just forgot, because it's like, whatever. So we dealt with all of that in the morning, and I said, so how does this happen? He goes, well, they will do an investigation, and then they will basically front us the money that was stolen. And once they determine that it was a fraud, then we just keep the money.
Right.
And they just replace it. And I said, okay, cool. So I said, well, when is that? And they're like, well, Stephanie, our sister, said up to 10 days, 10 to 14 days. And I went, what? No. And I'm like, well, I guess we're eating mac and cheese for the next 2 weeks.
No, I don't. I mean, maybe once it takes that long to investigate, but if they said they would front the money, I think they would probably front the money that day.
We got the money within 36 hours.
Yeah.
So it was fine. So luckily, with the world in which we live, it's just a significant inconvenience because now digitally you can see everything. And obviously we don't live in the Philippines. So it was clear that it was fraud. But I had to go to the bank and get a new ATM card and all that garbage. But what's funny is Daryl and I walk into the bank and we have our little masks on. Mm-hmm. And I said, who'd have thunk that we'd walk into a bank with masks on?
Yeah, you guys probably look like bank robbers.
Well, Daryl especially because he uses a... what are those called?
Bandana.
He uses a bandana. It's a red bandana. And so he walked in. He goes, do you think people think I'm a bank robber? I'm like, I think that just like when you're at the airport, you don't say bomb at the airport. You don't say bank robber with a bandana over your face at the bank. Okay? Stop it. Shut up. And
just don't put your hands in the air and be like, excuse me.
Just don't do anything dumb. I'm like, I want to leave with both of us intact. Okay? Just let's go. So anyway, we got it all done, and it was mirror. But now, of course, and I don't know if it actually happens when your bank or your credit card just expires. I forgot how many things are attached to that number, and so it's like Amazon, any online purchases that I've cookied for. Easy access. I keep getting all of these failures, and I'm like, why am I getting all? Oh yeah, I have to go through meticulously every single account and change. The number, and we've changed all our passwords, and oh my God, it's just inconvenient more than anything. But I was heated. I was pissed.
Did they figure out how you got it or where it came from?
Well, of course, initially Daryl's like, well, it was through your number. And I said, oh, so it's my fault.
What number?
My debit card number is what he said. And so I said, well, I mean, I was trying to think what I had purchased because it's not like we're buying a bunch of stuff right now. And I'm like, gosh, I don't remember. And so ultimately it wasn't my number. It was through our bank account. So it looks like a third party got access to our records and was able to access our bank account somehow. And so we were really surprised the bank didn't even red flag that. Like, that was really shocking. So that's something we're also dealing with, is how did they let that happen? But it looks like the way they did it is because they tried to take all of it and they couldn't. And so we were like, well, what happened? Like, how were they not able to clean us out completely, etc. So that's something that the bank is looking into. And it was because it was such a large amount, they escalated it to, because this happened to us once before a few years ago where they took like 600 out of New York. And we don't know how that happened either. And so we've obviously just changed everything, and we're as secure as we can be. Our bank account is secure again and all of that. But it's definitely something, I don't even know if they'll tell us, but I certainly am curious to find out how they got access.
Right.
So we'll see. So anyway, it was really fucking horrible, and it sucks, and it made me mad. It just made me mad. I'm like, really? I figured, there's a lot of people out there taking advantage of others with scams and all kinds of stuff because, everyone feels real vulnerable right now. But I think that's what made me the maddest, is like, oh, I see. So even though we're all, the entire world is in an upheaval, let's steal people's money on top of everything else. Let's just do that. It just pissed me off.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
terrible.
Yeah, because I knew things would work out. It was just one more thing.
It's being violated, though. It's just, it's terrible. It's like, basically someone robbing you. So
yeah, totally. And I would be just as mad if, even worse, if somebody took a picture of me peeing or something. It's like the same. It's vulnerable. Your vulnerability.
Well, I think that Also, too, just by nature, you try and associate the blame somehow to yourself. Like, what did I do?
Oh my God.
How was I
Totally.
How was I stupid? What website did I go to? Or
Absolutely.
what did I buy from some freak thing? Was it because I bought Paula those Nicolas Cage sweatpants, or whatever?
Right?
So,
Which I couldn't even believe those existed.
God, Jamie, those are hideous. Don't buy those.
I'm not. I thought they were on Amazon. They're not on Amazon.
No, they're on that freakwish.com site or whatever. But I mean,
Yeah.
when I saw those, I was just like, why on earth would anyone want those?
I don't
And
know.
if
For
you wore those
Halloween?
in public, I'm like, can you imagine? Like, I would just want like a camera somewhere on my body, just
So you could
maybe
see
like
people's
on
reactions.
my back. Just so I could see the look on
yeah.
people's faces, like as I walked past them, they're like,
like,
"What
why would you
the
wear
fuck
those?"
is that?" Or like people
Like,
pointing and laughing, like, "Did you see that? Oh my god!" You know,
Or like, is that Lululemon? I've never seen that before.
they're just like, "Is that the lady from Honey Boo Boo?" Or just
Oh
like,
my God. I know. So Nicolas Cage stretchies, I don't have to buy those for you.
But you know what? They might become a hot commodity because he was cast to play the Tiger King.
And you'll watch it. You're going to
Oh,
watch
heck
it.
yeah, I am. He's going to be so good. Everyone's like, oh my God, terrible. I'm like, think Con Air. It was perfect.
I actually, as much as I hate the nature of this person who belongs in prison,
He's in prison.
I know he is. I absolutely will watch Nicolas Cage portray him. Absolutely.
So
Yes.
if you ever watch on YouTube, they have these things where they have like vocal coaches or they have like accent coaches
Okay.
who work with celebrities who are going to do movies. They help them get like the exact dialect of whatever character they're about to play. And so they'll go through and they'll watch they'll watch a scene from a movie and they'll kind of critique the actor and how well they did the accent.
Okay.
They did Brad Pitt when he did Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, okay.
And so they're just like, he did a really good job, blah, blah, blah. They
Right.
said he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. Kevin Costner in Robin Hood. And they're just like, we're not really sure what he was doing here. Stuff like that.
Wait, you're going to have to send me the link. I want to watch this. I want to see accent critique.
Okay, and so then they said Nicolas Cage, Con Air, and they're just like, so here he was trying to do some kind of like Southern white trashy accent.
Yes. Did he nail it?
They filmed him, and then they came back and were just like, if it's Southern, we wouldn't be able to pinpoint where. If it's Southern, it's just kind of I don't know, like a hick kind of weird sounding voice, but
It's so funny.
I don't think he was really hired because of his ability to have an accent.
I don't think he
with
was.
the character. In fact, I didn't even think people really cared. But so basically, what they were saying is he just was talking funny.
That is
basically,
so funny.
so yes, I will find that and I will send it to you.
Please do. I want to see that. I want to see accent critiques. That's great. All right. A couple of notes before we go into our ugly and awkward moments of the week. I don't know if you have one.
I don't.
I do. Remember when we talked about Jay Cutler, the ex Chicago Bears quarterback who retired, and he and his wife Kristen Cavallari, who's from Laguna Beach and the Hills, the reality show thing, and they got divorced. And it said, you know, we love and respect each other, blah blah blah. Please respect our privacy. 2 weeks is how long that lasted.
Oh, are they being nasty now?
Oh, hell yeah. And now the tea is here. She asked him for $5 million so that she could buy a house for herself. And he's like, get a fucking job. No, I'm not doing that.
She didn't have $5 million of her own?
I have no idea what this financial issue is, but she's probably in her legal work. She's probably saying he needs to give her $5 million so she can buy a home wherever. And he's like, nah, use your own money. And she's like, well, he was lazy and motivated, and that's why I'm divorcing him. And everybody is like, oh, really? He only earned $120 million as being an NFL player, and all he wants to do is work his farm and be with his children. Yeah, that's lazy. Okay. He only took a $10 million one-year deal in Miami to get a concussion and be completely injured because you told him he had to do it. So fuck you. And this dude is not a lazy, unmotivated asshole. I don't know anybody in the NFL you could categorize as unmotivated. Not one.
I hope they had a prenup.
I don't know, man. I hope they did because he's worth over 120 million.
Sounds like she might get her house after all.
She might. It just might be a few months or a year, however long it works.
You know what, though? She has like a fashion line and she has money from that show she did. And they also she had her own reality show. So
she still has her own reality show.
So, I mean, and if she keeps doing that, it's going to get bigger. So
well, now it's going to be huge.
That's weird to me. And 5 million between, people like that, it's not that much.
It's not about the money. I think it was all of the other shit. And, he froze all of his personal accounts. And not the joint stuff, but his personal stuff. So she no longer has access to his money. And maybe that is a prenup thing, And maybe that's why, she no longer has access to stuff and she's pissed. I don't know. I mean,
maybe she never had to touch her money ever. And now she's going to have to.
And she's mad.
Well, and if you got used to living a certain type of lifestyle, she would probably burn through her money pretty quick if she sustained that.
Hi, Tori Spelling.
Yeah, for real.
Well, anyway, so that's that. Interesting update that the whole we love and respect each other profoundly is gone. It's just gone. Over.
Right.
Now we're real. Now everybody's being real. All of the arguments that they've been having for the last 10 years are now on Instagram and Facebook or Twitter, whatever.
Well, they have to say it from the beginning. Although, you know what? If I was a celebrity and I was getting a divorce, I'm like, divorce sucks. We're getting one. We really prefer not to talk about our shit in front of everyone. Right. So, please don't ask. And, I would say don't ask because we're probably not going to tell you because it's private.
The whole hypocrisy of trying to be like, showing pictures of you two walking down an aisle somewhere in the middle of, Mexico saying we love each other and we respectfully, are uncoupling. It's like, no, you're not. Someone said you were an asshole. You've been a bitch your whole life. And now we're finally getting away from each other. I mean, I'm not saying you have to say that in public, but it's like, yeah, we're getting divorced and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, you can say like, when we got married, we had every intention of, making this work and being together forever. But,
obviously,
it didn't happen and we're really sad about it. And so now, we're getting a divorce and anybody who's been divorced knows it really sucks. And, yes, we still love each other, but we realize it's just not going to work. So we're going to have to go through this really crappy process and it's going to take a long time. And, we really don't want people bugging us about it because, we don't want that to be our identity for the next, 2 years. Yeah. We have kids and, we're just going to try and, move forward as best as possible. But, what would make it a lot easier is if you didn't photograph us every 10 seconds asking us about our divorce.
Right.
So, have a heart if you can, you assholes.
Speaking of, so we finally, after 7 years of living here, purchased curtains for our front room where the TV is.
Oh my God.
I know. And so
I mean the dogs can't just look in whenever they want?
Right. So and it just gets so hot in there. And so they're kind of blackout. They're really, really nice. And so I bought them. They arrived. The curtain rod arrived. And Daryl's like, I'm hanging these for you. And I was like, all right, cool. Now, I am very capable. I can do anything. But he wanted to do it. And so he opens up the brackets and he immediately is having some issues with the type of brackets that have arrived. And he's trying to explain it to me he's explaining it to me nervously. Because anything that happens in this house, any kind of home improvement, always results in some kind of argument. Some kind of argument.
Do you guys always do things in pairs?
No, I wasn't going to do this with him. He wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, go ahead. So I go into the other room because I can't listen to him.
I'm like, why is he
struggle?
Explaining anything to you? I'd be like, I don't care. Just go do it.
I pretty much had that attitude.
Leave me out of this.
Yeah, I had that attitude.
This is between you and the curtains.
So I went into the other room, the office, and I'm sitting in there on the computer, and I can hear him verbally struggling. I can hear all of
Put headphones on.
I did. The drop.
It's
I can hear
me with my car. If it's making a weird sound, I just turn the radio up.
I heard, things dropping. I heard, the son of a bitch and all of that. Finally, I hear him come in and I'm like, oh, here we go. And I'm hoping he was just telling me, hey, they're done. Come look. But no, no. So he explains to me how these brackets are ill-equipped for our situation. He had already questioned the weight that this rod could hold the curtains. I'm like, it is standard. It is fine. These are not iron curtains. Okay. It will be okay. So we had to purchase different brackets. And of course I woke up this morning to say, oh no, you didn't buy them because your bank account's wrong. And I was like, fuck, this thing is going to be a 3-week thing. And it should have been a 10-minute thing. Now it's a thing. And now I'm mad. And I'm like, nothing can go right. Nothing. And so I'm like, curtains, it's going to be the curtains. The curtains are going to cause the divorce. I know it. It's the small things in life that really drive you to death. It's like a death of 1,000 pecks from a chicken.
I think that's what it is like, actually you think it's the big things that really break up the couples. But I think it's the big things over time that build up. And then it's just like the one little thing where you find yourself staring off into space and you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like you've had enough, like you're sitting there staring at them brush their teeth and you're just like, I can't stay. I don't want to wake up another day and watch him brush his fucking teeth and get it on his chin and wipe it with a towel. Like, is this my life? Is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my fucking life?
I know.
After everything he's put me through, this is my reward? No. Right. I'm almost 50 years old. I still have half my life left. I'm not going to live like this.
Right.
And that's when they look at you like, what? And you're like, I want a divorce.
They're like, what?
Like, what? And you're just like, I'm done. I want a divorce. I'm done.
I can't listen to you breathe any longer.
They're just like, where is this coming from? And it's just like,
I don't want to get into it. It doesn't matter.
It's just like, it's just not even worth talking about. It's just,
I just don't.
We're so over.
Yeah. There needs to be a new word for over.
I think you should pack a bag and leave. and again, guys are just like, what is she getting her period? Is she having a stroke? What's going on here?
Did she speak to her mother today?
They don't know.
Yeah. So I was talking to my friends.
Yeah. So I was talking to my friends, and then he's like, "Oh, here we go."
Oh my god. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, well, let me guess." Yeah, it's true. It's so true. Okay. And then there was only one other thing I wanted to tell you about. You and I both love Queen. Brian May is their guitarist, and I read a little story about him today. Of course, Daryl reminds me every year that it is Naked Gardening Day. Every year he hopes. Okay. Every year he hopes.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a thing. Every year he goes, hey, guess what today is? I'm like, Wednesday? He goes, no, it's Naked Gardening Day. And I'm like, okay, you ask me he's been asking me every year for a decade at least if I'll do it. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going out there.
Say this. I will do it when we have our secluded backyard in Napa.
I'm not doing it, Paula.
One day.
Nope. I refuse.
I'll text you from my phone and say,
I'm doing it.
You want to come help me plant some seeds?
Paula, I'm never going to do it.
You need to be more adventurous.
Oh, yes. That's where. Okay. So I don't want to get bitten in the snatch by a bee or an ant or any kind of weird aphid. Nothing. It's not happening.
You send a text and say, you want to come help me plant some seeds? And then they come outside because in his mind, he'll be thinking, what? And then he's like, it's Naked Gardening Day. She wouldn't. And then you hear, the feet sprinting down, the tile. God. He walks outside and he sees you bent over. And he's like, oh my God, yes. I want to plant my non-seeds in you.
Oh God, Paula, that's so disgusting.
I'm just saying.
You do it.
I can give a man a boner in like less than 3 seconds.
Well, so can I.
I'm just saying. I
feel like, what is this, name that tune? I can do it in 2 seconds.
That would be a funny show. And Naked guy sitting in a chair in the middle between two girls. And she's like, I could give him a boner in 3 seconds. I could give him a boner in 2 seconds. All right, give him a boner.
Give that boner. Oh my God, Paula, we just came up with the best porn game ever.
That would be a fun game.
It would be a fun game.
What? It would be a stupid game because the guy would have a boner before anyone even got them to get the boner.
If he saw 2 girls coming toward him to give him a boner, it'd be over.
If he saw 2 girls sitting there talking about which one of them would be able to give him a boner in a short amount of time, Just thinking about what would they do to give me a boner, he'd get a boner.
I know. It's so true. It's so true.
It would be a failure of a game.
Oh, yeah. They'd be like, well, you can't have a boner before we get over there. Jesus.
He's just looking up, like going side to side, like, oh my God, what's about to happen?
This is happening.
This is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
That's hilarious. It's so funny. All right. Let's do an ugly and awkward moment of the week. Have one, but I do have one, so I wanted to tell you about it really quick. It was a couple weeks ago, and I had posted a meme about short independent girls climbing up racks at the grocery store to get things.
You mean girls like us?
Yes. How many times have I climbed shelves at the grocery store to access some stupid shit that I had to get that they put way up high? I can't even tell you.
I do it. I usually wait for the aisle to be empty. I hop up there, I grab it, and I hop back down. I do it like a ninja, so no one knows I've been up there.
Right.
Because if people see you, they get worried. They're just like, oh, I could have gotten that for you. I'm like, it's fine.
Right.
I got it. You know, or sometimes it's not even like reachable. You have to like use something else to knock it down.
Oh, I
like
do that.
I don't know, like another box or a.
I have used boxes of long pasta.
Yeah.
To get stuff off the top shelf. Anyway, I was at the grocery store and Daryl was there and he was pushing the basket. Now we got in a fight at the grocery store actually. And so I can't even stand I can't even stand the way he drives carts, Paula. There's nothing. I hate the way he drives. I hate the way he maneuvers anything with wheels. He kept cutting me off with the cart. And I got really, really angry because I had had enough. And so we're standing there and he's like, what's the matter? I'm like, make your fucking decision on what direction you're going. You're killing me and you keep cutting me off and I'm done with it. And he's like, I go, where are you going? And he's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, fine. And so I climbed up, grabbed the tomato paste off of the top shelf and knocked down 3 more. And they just fell all over the floor. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm trying to be cool right now. And that didn't happen. So he cleaned it up for me and I stormed off and went to the vegetable section. And then I'm still angry. And all of a sudden, there he is right behind me. And I'm all, like he ran after me. I was so angry. I was mad at him for 2 days.
Really?
Yes.
That's a long time.
I was really pissed. And it's because I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him. I mean, I'm used to him traveling. I'm used to him not, going fishing, just living some semblance of a life that doesn't include me. And it hasn't been that way for 7 weeks. And I love him to death. He's one of the best people I've ever met in my life.
But I mean, my God.
I just can't take it anymore. If I have to listen to him bellow about sales or digital, I can't. I told him that. I said, I'm moving my computer up to the bedroom because I can't be with you anymore.
Do you ever annoy him?
I don't know. And I don't care. I'm a delight. And the thing is that I will seclude myself. I don't constantly, I'm not up his ass all day. I don't need to do that. But he does. He loves me. It is the weirdest thing ever. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand healthy relationships. I'm bad at it, and I just don't understand. All right. Well, anyway, happy Mother's Day to those who are celebrating and who enjoy it. We appreciate you.
For those that are going to be remembered.
And if you do love Mother's Day, we don't begrudge you. We just don't. We're just not huge fans. But that's okay. We know that, for a lot of you, this is your first Mother's Day.
Yes.
Or if you happen to have a really good relationship with your mom, we're really happy for you. I mean, I would never begrudge anyone for that.
I think there's probably better times than others. Like when the kids were really little, I loved it because they always had like the cutest little like handprints or,
Oh, Paula, I
still have those.
I was going to say, I have them too. And when I read the poem, I cry.
Of course
so I try not to.
Or
I just can't do it.
They make these little coasters or these little ornaments out of clay that are painted, so much that they're black. And
it's so cute.
and I still save those, and but they're so proud and excited to give it to you. They get in their backpacks and they get out this little tissue wrapped thing that they've been working on all week, and their little hands are so cute because they hand them to you, and like those, I love that. Those are so adorable.
And for that, I appreciate teachers because they facilitate all of it.
They do. And then there's now where Olivia's almost 11, Ryan will be 15, and I'm sure, they want to do this as much as I do. And so, I mean, not that we don't love each other. We love each other in our own ways.
Of course.
But I mean, a formal Mother's Day brunch, breakfast, cards and bullshit, that's what it is. It's bullshit.
Yes.
But then when they get older, maybe when they're adults, or maybe when they have their own kids, and they probably maybe appreciate more like how hard it is. Mm-hmm. That might be a good time to be a mom again, maybe. I don't know.
For sure.
So we'll see.
Yes. Anyway, happy Mother's Day to those of you who are celebrating today. We do appreciate all of the mothers, even some of the motherfuckers.
Yep.
And that's all I have.
Yes, me too. Thanks everybody for joining us. We will see you on Wednesday. That's all. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.